Hello, welcome to ROCC. I'm Rob. This is going to be a little bit of a different kind of a vlog because wasn't sure how to do this, and I've been trying to do this for the past bunch of days, and there's just no good way to do this other than, being kind of rambly and kind of being all, I don't know. So there's going to be a lot of jump cuts here. I apologize for that now. And this might be a little bit all over the place, but when I started doing this vlog, I promised myself that this was going to be honest, because when you're training, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. And the last month or so has been pretty much not sunshine and not rainbows. So I know that it's kind of bad video making to kind of cut to the chase right off the bat, but I don't want to waste you guys' time too much. Last week I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. The long and the short of it was I went to one clinic and I was misdiagnosed at that particular clinic. And then I went to a second clinic a couple days later when I was actually physically able to do so, because the first clinic kicked my ass. But yeah, the second clinic, I was there for like 15 minutes and they admitted me. I spent the weekend in an intensive care unit. I've still got some of the IV scars. So I was hooked up to fluids, and they had an insulin drip going the entire. Oh yeah, okay. So the basic diagnosis was this, and the only reason I'm putting this on the screen is because I don't speak medical and I can't remember what the hell this is as I'm sitting here, but if you want to look it up for yourself, this is what it is. But the long and the short of it was that my blood sugar was extremely high. Your normal blood sugar level should be, when you see people prick their fingers and take the blood tests, it should be somewhere between 80 and about 120, somewhere in that range, right? When they tested my blood sugar, it was at 1500 plus. And I say plus because that's as far as their meters went. As I understand it, when your blood sugar is that high, number one, you risk going into a diabetic coma. So they were amazed that not only did I walk in, but I drove there. I woke up that morning and I was still breathing. That was all kind of amazing to them. But that's at 600. I was at 1500 plus, and I've probably been operating at that high level for at least 3 months. They did a blood test for that, and one diabetic doctor walked in and he yelled at me about, "Oh my God, your blood has been horrible for the past 3 months." I'm like, yeah, great bedside manner, bro. This is the same guy that also yelled at me, "Why don't you drink coffee like normal people?" Because I don't like the taste. Anyway, I'm digressing. So, yeah, that was spending a weekend in the intensive care unit, and then I spent about one day on one of the floors as they were trying to get my blood sugar level back down to somewhere near normal. And they did. They got it to about 150, and they said, "Good enough. You can go home. Here's everything you're going to need to know to survive for the next week. Do some follow-up with us next week." And I've already scheduled my appointment. The follow-up's going to be next week. But as a result of that, it's been a hell of a ride. That's the best way to put it. So first of all, they've got me still taking insulin. I'm taking a 24-hour insulin to kind of keep a baseline going, but I'm also on something you're supposed to take before every meal. Yeah, this is kind of messing with my system, something fierce. Yesterday I was doing, I wanted to go for a casual bike ride. I was ready to go for like about an hour and a half, but after 25 minutes, I literally had a sugar crash, and I literally had a physical crash, as in like I hit pavement. And then last night about 1 o'clock in the morning, the sugar crash got even worse. My blood sugar level was about like 55. Waking up and I was just shaking in cold sweat, and I felt like I was gonna die. Thankfully, I didn't throw away my candy stash. And I did a bike ride today too, and I started the bike ride at about 133 sugar level. And by the time I was done, I only went like 8 miles, and it was like 80. So beyond the insulin, there's also been a lot of dietary restrictions. Obviously, most of the stuff that I have been doing has been cut out. I'm on a very low-carb diet right now, which frankly sucks. Just the meals themselves, I'm only allowed like 60 carbs per meal, which is just, it doesn't feel like enough, because I feel like I'm starving. And obviously I've had to cut out a bunch of the things that I have been drinking, like Mountain Dew and such, but I've been finding replacements. This is regular bottled water, and I've been using this it's a concentrated liquid called Mio, and you squeeze it in there. But the thing is, one squeeze equals about the same caffeine level as Mountain Dew, and I like the flavor of this stuff, so I'm like, okay, I found a replacement. I can live without Dew. Yeah, there's a phrase nobody ever thought they'd hear me say. It's only been about a week, and I can already feel a lot of these changes too. You might notice I'm not wearing my glasses right now. It's because, well, okay, first of all, when this whole thing began, my eyes were kind of blurry because of the high sugar level, right? Well, I kicked out the sugar from my diet and my eyes actually improved. Then I woke up this morning and my eyes were actually better than my prescription. Literally, I put on my glasses and it felt like somebody had taken the entire world and pulled it away from my face. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's awesome. And I'm like, no, it's not, because I can't drive anywhere. My eyes are not like adjusted to this like new vision thing, and I don't have proper glasses for it. So I'm waiting for my eyes to completely level out before I even can think about going to an optometrist for new glasses. And my entire body's still detoxing, so everything's in flux. So the last week has just sucked, because everything is just changing and altering, and it's the fact that it all happened basically in 3 days. Okay, so why am I doing this video right now? Because, well, like I keep on saying, I'm keeping it honest with this vlog, and what this means for the River Otter Cycling Club project is that everything has changed, but nothing has changed. So on one hand, yeah, everything has changed, because I can't just go out for a ride anymore. I have to actually plan these things ahead. I gotta figure out a nutrition strategy before, during, and after. I gotta figure out how to balance the sports drinks along with the energy bars. I have to figure out routes and things like that. I have to have things on me in case of a sugar crash. This is basically life-altering stuff going on here. But on the other hand, nothing has changed. The ride across Wisconsin, that's still on. I'm going. Just because I've been diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic does not mean that this stops. Does not mean that, it doesn't mean that I can't do these things. When I was in the hospital, one of the worst things, people kept on piling papers and papers and papers on me, basically telling me what I couldn't do anymore. I had one nurse actually tell me I couldn't walk around barefoot because I might stub my toe and then I might need to get my foot amputated. Yes, I know that's a possibility. I know somebody that happened to, but... And then I was told, well, if you go to a party, you can't eat any of the food there. Try to focus only on the music and the socialization and bring your own food to the party. And you can't do this, and you can't do that. You can't. Everything's been negative up to that point until I talked to one person who was a diabetic specialist. And she said, yeah, you can do those things. And if nothing else, that's what I'm holding on to. Everybody's saying you can't do these things, and I'm kind of under the belief of, yeah, you can. So that's where the project is at right now. I'm not off the bike. I'm just altering the way that I do things. And the thing is, I got a lot of friends who either are diabetic, are married to diabetics, have parents who are diabetics. So, I'm not the first one to go through this. That's kind of comforting to know. But as far as I'm concerned, this is just another small setback. Well, it's a big setback, but it's not that big in the big picture. Hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll have the meds dialed in. I'll have some kind of a strategy as far as, how do I do the workout thing without having another crash? How do I do this? How do I do that? And it's going to be a learning experience, but I'm up for it. But I talk to them next week. Hopefully I can get some kind of a strategy, and, we can move forward from there. And I'm out of water, so I think we should call this one an update. So thank you guys very much for hanging out with this. I apologize again for the long and rambliness of this one, but kind of need to be said. So at least there's something there about that. And we'll see you guys. Hopefully, I'll try to get an update out next week as soon as I know more. Hopefully, we'll get everything under control. Fingers crossed. All right, be good, everybody. Catch you then. Catch you next time.